if you had one tip, one practical tip to offer a writer about actually getting the job done, you know,
the job of writing a script, right?
What would that one thing be?
I think it's about. I think with me, I can only really go from my own experience, and everyone's experience as a writer is different and unique to them. But I think for me, it was just I was really focused. I think that's the thing. You have to have a period in your life where you are just focusing on this one thing and this one thing only. You know, I stopped going out and, like, you know, sort of, I let my social life suffer. I was living in a flat with like 5 people. I would sit in the corner of the living room on my computer, sort of writing. But more than that, more than the actual just sort of working all the time, it was the focus. I was just thinking about it all the time. I was thinking about getting this script done. You know, how am I going to make this script better? I would go to bed at night thinking about that script, thinking of ideas. I'd be on the tube, I'd be writing ideas down, you know, and all about that one script, that first script that I was writing, because you can write 50, 100, 1,000 scripts that are good, but what you really need to break into this industry is something that is at least viewed by some people as exceptional enough for them to put $1 million+ into it of their own money, or of someone, you know, of money that they're responsible for. So, and to kind of inspire that, I think you need to be trying to create something that's as near perfect as you can make it. So that's probably my one tip.
Okay, well look, my final 2 questions, which I ask everybody.
Yeah.
What mistakes do you think you've made in your career?
It's like, look, I mean, you know, it's like how you look at life, isn't it? I probably don't look at my career and think I've made mistakes as such. There are certain decisions that I made that didn't work out, perhaps, but you always learn from those. I mean, I did, you know, I've done a couple of studio jobs, for example, where, like, maybe I did a studio job that where the idea was good, but I wasn't so passionate about it that I was really wanted to spend 6 months of my life or a year of my life working on it, and you suffer for that, you know, because then you do have to spend 6 months or a year working on it, and it's not easy, and, you know, that can be hard.
That's interesting you should talk about that, because Judy and I were talking about that. How do you, if you don't have the passion, how do you manufacture that desire if you're doing it just for the dollars?
Well, you can't really, I think. That's the thing. It's
Damn
like,
it.
yeah. That's the lesson. You can't do a job just for the money, because it won't work. It just won't. You do a job because you really want to make this film. You want to see it made, and you want that film to be the film that you wrote and that represents you. And I think that's what, with me anyway, that's what inspires me. You know, that feeling of like, I want this film out there, and I want people to know that this is, you know, my film. And you know, because if you're writing something that you don't feel that connected to, then yeah, you just won't be able to give it the heart and soul that it needs.
Right. Okay, and the final question, what advice would you offer an emerging filmmaker? It can be anything you want. Life advice, movie advice, script advice, Hollywood advice, anything.
Again, I think I just said it in the last question, just that thing about being focused, you know, aiming for something. No one can write a perfect script, but as perfect as you can make it. And, you know, maybe being aware that there's a lot of rejection out there for any screenwriter. I don't care, you know, who it is. They've gone through rejection, and probably a lot of it before, you know, before you have success. And trying as best they can to not let that rejection discourage them. If they really believe in themselves, then they have to turn that rejection to a kind of a positive, let it make them angry and you know, even more determined. I think that's probably what happened to me as well.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Dean, thank you very much for sharing your wisdom with us.
Thank you.
If you get a chance to see Death at a Funeral, do it, because our man is here, and he's shared everything he knows with you about filmmaking. So thank you very much again, Dean, and good luck with the release of the film.
Thank you.